Yo guys, what's the WQQQWRT here? I just finished reading Jagaaaaaan 18 guys. This shit was fucking fueled up. I mean, I don't really, honestly, the whole roba, he full on just rapes Karen Chan, and I'm not gonna lie, I've beat my meat to things that are much worse than that, but seeing it in like a manga that I take seriously and actually reading, you have to wonder. Now you gotta wonder, like, what the fuck is going on here? And he's some kind of aphrodisiac, like tongue action going on, and like I don't know. I really have no idea what to think about that. I'm gonna let that one develop. But there's a lot going on here that was really interesting because there's obvious parallels that are being drawn between Jagaaaaaan and Roba, right? And actually also with how they are in relationships with women too, where Jagaaaaaan, he went out of his way to save Belle, or not kill Belle. Actually, save Belle, even sacrifice his own life for it. I mean, he went out of the way to do that. Whereas Roba-chan, his friend, he decided to rape her, and you become kind of mind control. So it's like there's a clear difference in what they're doing with their powers. But there's a parallel being drawn. I don't know why it's being drawn. The author's drawing it for some reason. But then also this tree dude, and I was saying last chapter, like, how these parallels are being, or there's four plot elements. There's four major plot elements. Well, three of them just got thrown together like really hard because now the tree guy is saving Jagaaaaaan. We just saw multiple transformations. Endurance feats also, by the way, and yeah, a little bit of offensive feats too, speed feats as well, which is great for the power in this manga. I really like seeing power feats. Look at this though. Fracturing is just the beginning. For humans, fracturing is just the beginning. And Tree Guy, he wanted Jagaaaaaan to blow Belle up and fracture even more. So going deeper, like in terms of levels, yeah, there's definitely more power levels. There's definitely like some sort of society, like a soul society kind of, where these people is more common, a more known thing. It seems like the owl is actually a part of this tree guy on page 19. Seems like they're kind of the same thing. I don't know what's going on with that. And then what is this for humans thing? Is there a second species, or do the fractured humans turn into something else? Are they, the humans, and they turn into something else? And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is because like this is what I was talking about last chapter, where Jagaaaaaan, he's not a real protagonist in the like friendship with magic sense. Like he's a fractured human. I mean, he even reminded himself he's a fractured human. He's like, this is what being high is like. I want to fuck things up. I want to kill people. I want to fuck things up. I don't really give a shit. And then the teacher, the teacher's speech is interesting because the teacher was saying, well, aren't I the real hero? Teachers are humans, just like all of you. We all bleed and we cry. Isn't that right? Teacher, he thinks he's the hero. Or he's wrong, maybe, but he's wrong by society. He's obviously not a hero. But the point is, well, Jagaaaaaan is not a hero. If that's the truth, Jagaaaaaan is not a hero at all. Jagaaaaaan he's not a hero. He's blowing him up. He's killing him. How's that a hero? That's he's just doing cleanup. So he's on the same level as the teacher. He's on the same level as Roba-chan. And maybe that's the argument. Maybe that's the argument that the author is creating. Roba-chan, what Roba-chan did is ridiculously degenerate. It's ridiculously like awful, right? And I think intentionally. That was intentional. As graphic and as extreme that was, and it's on his birthday, by the way, not a coincidence, is trying to draw a parallel with Jagaaaaaan. Because Jagaaaaaan and him, they're on the same level. And that's what the teacher is saying. The teacher is saying to Jagaaaaaan, we're on the same level. Well, if they're on the same level, so is Roba-chan. Look at what Roba-chan did, right? It's being portrayed as one of the worst things that you can do in society. But look at it from a philosophical, ethical point of view. I mean, he's murdering people. Jagaaaaaan is about to murder a bunch of people. Well, murder is as bad as rape or worse even. I know that's why that parallel is being drawn, right? They're the same. But then in this chapter it takes an interesting turn is where Jagaaaaaan he rejects it again. And I was talking about this again. This is what happens when you give up. You turn into Roba-chan. If you give up in life, you turn into Roba-chan. I mean, do you want to turn into Roba-chan or do you want to turn into not Roba-chan? You know, and it's like Jagaaaaaan he gave up and he's in the situation, but he's kind of. Did he give up? I don't think he gave up. You know, because there was this clear grouping between Jagaaaaaan and Roba-chan, and then there was a break. There's a break, and it has to do with women. And you know, Clarabelle and Karen, they're, you know, I guess they don't think maybe they don't have characters. I don't know, but they're sort of like resembling the good and the bad. You know, the light side of the dark side. That's interesting, but let's go to part of the plot. It seems like the tree guy wants he wanted Jagaaaaaan to blow or Jagaaaaaan to blow everyone up. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I honestly have no idea. I have no predictions. I really can't tell. We know this guy's fucking strong. Like he knows who good Jagaaaaaan is, and it must be through the owls. Like we know they're in some kind of carnival, or like they all are gonna kill each other, and then you know the last one living becomes God or whatever. I don't know. Like there has to be more. There has to be more to it. Actually, one other thing. This is pretty much the last chapter where all this shit's anonymous. There's no way this could no longer be anonymous anymore. It's pretty much impossible. Where these dudes have gigantic monsters. They have these ridiculous powers. Clarabelle knows too. Even if not for the reporters and the TV and the helicopter and all the people, they're not terrorists anymore. There's something else going on here. They're gonna know. How does that change the story? I don't really know. Not even too much. It might not. This might be all a cover up. It might all be covered up. But at least Clarabelle knows. Well, she knows now. She's into the main story. She's put in the main story. And then what is Karen gonna do? What is Karen going to do? And Roba-chan, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be around it for at least another 50 chapters, maybe 20 chapters, minimum. You know, I would expect, if you read the series, I would expect a lot more of Roba x Karen. And I'm not going to lie, I was not happy reading that. I was not thrilled by reading that, but I would expect a lot more of that because I don't think that's going anywhere. I think it's being used intentionally to create kind of a horrible image. I think they're trying to create the worst image you can think of this guy. That's how people write stories, right? And honestly, I think the author is doing a really good job. He's doing a really good job of depicting society in its current state, and he's doing a really good job as painting Roba-chan as scum. You know, bottom line, he's scum. This is the scummiest thing you can do, pretty much, and for no reason. Why did Roba do that? It was for greed. He failed. He's a failure. No self-esteem, no confidence. You know, and it was out of like primal desire, not a good one. And everything Jagaaaaaan, and again, this is why this parallel is being drawn. I really think is because everything Jagaaaaaan was saying about himself, this is what it's like to be high, this is fun, I want to do this. That's what's going through Roba-chan's head. Right? So, that's pretty brutal, and yeah, I continue that I think it's going to get worse. I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. Honestly, I think this is a chapter where Jagaaaaaan it's starting to get, I think people are starting to pick this chapter up. I'm in a few manga and anime groups on Facebook. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to pick this up, and I think it's going to get... More people are going to start picking it up, because you can't read that chapter and not have an emotional reaction. There's no way you can read that chapter and not have an emotional reaction. It's too good of a chapter. It's too emotionally appealing, and aggressive, right? And it's not just Roba-chan. It's the teacher. The teacher's argument. Jagaaan's... Him going at the teacher. How did Jagaaaaaan and the teacher's relationship? How are they two... different and the same, right? I mean, you could write an essay on this shit, and then you have the tree guy. Like, what is his motive? That's just plot stuff, which is fine. But then you have Clarabelle, and then the parallel, right? There's a lot fucking going on here. So really fucking good chapter. I'm actually really excited for next week. Who knows what we'll get? I mean, like with that, I did not expect any of that. I really thought we're gonna see more parallels. Or I guess not really parallels, but I thought Karen would take a more active role between Karen and Roba, and I thought maybe even she would become a factory human. Not the case at all. No, instead she literally just got raped, and basically is a drone. She basically has no character. And actually, I noticed the same. It's the same with Jagaaaaan's wife. His wife's a head. She's a lifeless head. So, not the best, not the most powerful female characters in this series. But that's I like Clarabelle a lot. And the truth of the matter is, using women as a symbol is it's powerful literary technique because it's hard to read. And it strikes a chord. It strikes a chord, especially a mostly male audience. So. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave you out here. It's been very real WQ in the building in the house. I just got a fresh haircut, guys. Comment what you think my haircut is, and then comment your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe.